The workshop perspective would completely switch. Everyone's right.
So you guys should all be very excited. This is the first spring workshop. If you haven't gotten a name tag out of yet for today, to make it easier for us to start to learn who each other is, I'm going to ask you to wear a name tag because we have lots of new people and we have some returning people, just so that we have that. And you guys all know who I am?
No.
If you don't,
You failed. You failed. One time.
So I know that some of you have been waiting patiently for the volunteer activities for the spring. I haven't put it out as of yet. I'm waiting for some responses from different things. I don't like to send out too many emails that have like a short list. I know I sent you a list for the workshops. That is completed as of right now. Some additional things will be added to that, but for the most part, all the conferences are on there. All the workshops are on there. The titles aren't all there, but those presenters are now booked. I will get the titles as soon as I can. And there are some of the other things that we have on there as well. So the leadership forums are on there as well. So as you look through that, there will be opportunities to pick up points and things throughout the course of the semester. Today, before you leave, we want to make sure that you get your shirt for your designated grouping so that if you come out to a particular volunteer activity, you can throw that shirt on. But also, when New has sick, so she'll be back next week. When New is back next week, she will give out your pins. So you'll have your little Leadership Academy pins. For different things, you wear different things. For going out and like really doing like volunteer service where you gotta stretch your muscles, you wear the t-shirt. Obviously, if it's cold, you wear something on top of it. And for one of those opportunities when we're representing, like some folks are not here because they went to Albany today, when you're wearing your suits and your fancy gear, you get to wear your pin. And so that's how we represent ourselves throughout the course of the year. I want you to get the most of this workshop as you possibly can. There has been a slight change. So Stephen Rodriguez was supposed to be here today. He couldn't make it. So Brian, who was supposed to be here next week, decided to work something out last night where he felt he could do a 2-workshop series with you guys. And this is an extraordinary individual, so I said, all right, absolutely, if you can do 2, let's make it happen. And he wasn't able to be here in the fall, he wasn't able to be here in the winter, and he's usually been able to do that with us. So you're going to get the benefit of not only having Brian this week, but you're going to have him again next week. And what he's going to start with you today, he'll tell you, be better at telling you what he's going to do today. But he's going to start with you today, sort of what you're going to finish next week. So we really want everybody who's here today to be here next week as well. And then you should be here all the time. Just saying, for this particular sequence, we've never done a 2 sequence. Well, we did a long time ago, but we haven't done it in a long time. But let me do a brief introduction. I can't do him justice. So Brian Rashid is an internationally recognized speaker. He has his own podcast. He's got a reputation, with a good reputation, with lots of folks in media, in service-based organizations, and he has a background that includes once upon a time being a football player. I know he doesn't look like a football player, and working for Mike Bloomberg. So if you like Mike Bloomberg, he does. But if you don't like Mike Bloomberg, he hasn't had any connection with him anytime recently, so you can let him off the hook on that. And what else should I say?
I don't know, whatever else you want.
And he's been here like 12 times. He always brings a pack of information that really sort of is used for inspiration to help you to sort of develop and hone your basic skills in terms of developing who you want to be, how you want to be identified, and what it is that you want to have as the culture that surrounds you in the opportunities that you're presented with. So it's not always easy to be a leader. Sometimes you need to make those difficult choices, and Brian's one of those people who can tell you how to deal with all of those difficult things. Yes?
Sure, yes.
So let me introduce you to Mr. Brian Rashid.
Thank you. All right, Jay, you didn't know if more people will come.
There will be a few more people that will come.
Because I'm just wondering if we should like can you guys move down here a little so we can be all nice and close? Or we'll all be friends. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. I'm not going to call on you if you're closer to me. Don't worry. All right, so how's everybody doing today? Good. All right. Well, I'm really, really excited to be here. This is kind of a bonus for me. I was planning on being here next week, and then Jason texted me last night. He said, "Hey, I got this situation. What can we do?" And I said, "Let's do a 2-day workshop." So we're going to have a lot of fun today. We're going to have a lot of come back next week as well, because we're going to kind of build on each other. But I want to tell you a little bit about myself, but I also, before we start with me kind of telling you my story, I want to know your name, I want to know where you're from, and I want to know if you could have any business or any job in the world, what would it be?
My name is Jean-Pierre. I'm from Manhattan.
Yeah.
And need job.
You could create any job, or you could have any job in the world, what would it be?
I think probably an astronaut.
An astronaut?
Yeah.
All right. We're starting off with the ambitious career. You want to go to outer space? Awesome. Cool.
But my name is Chance. Chance for short, and I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. And I guess if I haven't had any job in the world, I think it's just
Anything. Yeah.
this is journalism.
Cool.
And that's just simply because there's so many things out there that just doesn't get to the people. And now that I think about it, that's probably what I do.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Love it. Thanks, Jason.
Hey, how are you? I'm Ryan. Everybody, my name is Julian. From the Bronx. And there was one job that I would, want is to be in a profession that basically gives back to people and humanity, and just kind of like uplift people's lives and stuff.
Cool. What would you, if you could pick any way to give back to humanity, what would it be? What if there's a cause that you care most about?
Health.
Awesome. Love it. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sunny. I'm from Dominican Republic.
I learned Spanish in the Dominican Republic. Any other Dominicans here? All right. I learned Spanish in La Romana. More on that later. Go on.
And the business that I'd like to have that in my mind
Yeah.
and in order, it will be a school coach for waiters and waitresses and a sentence assistant.
So the school would be for waiters and waitresses to learn how to become servers.
Mm-hmm.
And then what was the second thing you said? What was the second thing you said after that?
And to have a restaurant.
To have your own restaurant. Cool. What kind of food? Dominican food?
Well, a mix.
A mix? Like Dominican, what else?
It would be like called typical.
Yeah.
Typical from Latin with Mexican. It's a mix.
Cool. So like a Latin fusion kind of thing? Cool. Awesome. Love it.
I'm Sheena. I'm from around here, from the Bronx, born and raised.
Wow, New York is here today,
From the
man.
Bronx,
This is
yeah.
a rare thing.
If I have one job, and I would love to get into this, become a mortician.
A mortician?
Yeah.
Okay.
I always like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Mortician is, do you decide what is the cause of death for somebody?
Yeah. Or like funeral services.
Yeah.
I like something like
Listen, you would never be out of business.
that. No, exactly.
Or always
No,
die.
I have that on my Indeed, like looking for different, in different states.
Cool. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
My name is Marie. I'm from Haiti. I'm a retired nurse for 42 years.
Wow.
I'm not looking for a job. I want to create jobs for youngsters.
That's awesome.
I'm an executive chef for my own catering company, and I'm going for my bachelor's in business administration so I can improve my business. That's where I'm at.
You're
I
awesome.
graduated here back in 1991.
And you know what? First of all, I think nurses are like the most amazing people ever. So I commend you for your job. But you know the thing that makes me most impressed by nurses, aside from all the the kindness and the care, you guys can go a really long time without peeing. Like people are like, no, I can't pee for my whole 8-hour shift. I'm like, I pee every like 38 minutes. That's awesome. Thank you. It's a cool story.
Hi, my name is Denise. That's my bottle that I just dropped. I am a current student here. My major is liberal arts and science biology.
Cool.
Looking to go after this, go 4 years school.
Okay.
And going for my degree.
Cool. And dream job, or if you could create your own dream job or your own dream business, what would it be?
Wow. My own dream job or dream business. I mean, I'm going to be a doctor.
Cool.
So, my own practice
Cool.
or my own bakery.
Or your own bakery?
Yes.
Maybe you could have both in the same building. Like, hey, you come for the doctor's office, and then I get
Like your
I
sugar
get
is
cake.
so high, and like
Yeah.
you just go and you just.
All right, cool. And where are you from?
I'm Dominican.
All right.
Yeah.
This guy.
My name is Anthony. I am an alumni from this institution, and I'm a graduating senior at John Jay studying Law and Society and double minoring in Anthropology. You guys want to say the whole word?
I want to know your dream job.
Your
Anthony.
dream job.
It's whatever comes my way.
Yeah? You don't have one thing that
No.
yours open.
That dream job is dropped dead a long time ago.
What was that?
A lawyer.
Yeah. Cool.
It died at John Jay.
Why? Why did you guys talk to her? She can figure out where.
My professors.
How?
My professors. Me and my professor had a discussion. It's like it's a risky move on my life.
To become a lawyer?
Yeah, like the law school commitment, like mentally.
Okay.
So I want to do something to be safer, like work on like research or something,
Okay, well, we'll talk about
or work in an office.
We'll talk about it.
I'm fine though.
I know you for 5 years now.
Law school is not for me.
Okay, all right, listen. I went to law school. I don't know that I would go to law school again because I didn't practice law. I always tell people, if you want to practice law, you have to go to law school. If you don't, it's a lot of money.
I mean, I kind of like agree with him a little bit because this is my second round. I actually graduated from SUNY Albany as a criminal justice major,
Okay.
but like after I graduated, like I was probably like the only unhappy student there because I graduated and I felt like I was not doing something that I wanted to do. I was just doing something because my parents were paying for my school.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. All right, cool. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Sandra Robert. I'm a current student here. My major is liberal arts and science. My dream job would be to be a dentist.
That's it. All right.
And because I love cooking, I'll say maybe I have like a cooking gig. And I
This
also
is the
like
theme of the day. It's like service provider plus
Food.
yeah.
And I also do event planning on the side, so I'll be like also that and other dream job. So yeah.
Cool.
And I'm protecting people's identity.
Cool.
Can you clear my shoes?
From Manhattan. And my dream job is very short. I'm the president of America.
You're the president of what? We need you, man. We need you. We need you like this year. Can you run now? Jenny, say, can we get a campaign going for this guy? Cool. Thanks, Nick.
My name is Bora. I'm from Guinea, and my dream job is to be a biochemist.
A biostatistician? Cool. Awesome. Welcome.
So, hi everyone, my name is Francesca and I'm from Burkina Faso.
From where?
Burkina Faso in West Africa.
Ah, okay, cool.
My dream job would be to be a software engineer, hopefully.
What kind of stuff would you like to work with?
That's the thing. I'm still looking for because I'm still interested in so many things. I want to be a software engineer, but I also want to be a nurse and engineer. So I'm so good.
Cool.
I like both. So.
Can I ask you for a favor? Can you hack into something for me?
Can you what?
No.
I guess
Hi, my name is Kira.
Thank you.
Cool.
So, hi. My name is Celia Arson. My name is Celia Arson. I'm from Honduras. And my major in here is liberal arts and I'm a social worker. And my job dream will be America show. I would like to bring something for children. Because I feel that our children are the future. Our future. After we need to do care for them.
It's an ambitious group in here, man. I got basically every need taken care of in this room, like oncologist, surgeon, dentist. When I die, and I'm good. Lawyer, doctor, bakery, nurse, president, you know? President ready for me? All right, cool. Well, guys, welcome. You guys want to share? Why don't you guys share? You're here.
Hello everybody, my name is Mustafa. I'm from Egypt. My dream job, I also want to be a surgeon. I want to be an orthopedic surgeon.
Is that for like
Cool.
No.
I'm from Yemen, but my dream job is to start a brand that symbolizes something, not just to be worth this, but to help something around the world, to help communities rebuild themselves.
Cool. Awesome. Welcome. Amen.
Hi, my name is Stefan. I've been really thinking about this lately. I wanted to be a lawyer, so I can agree with Anthony on that, but I think that being an actor would be more fulfilling for me. So, self-expression is everything to me.
You do it, man. Good job at doing it.
So, we'll do these last two and then we'll. Hey. So what questions are name, where you're from, and dream job or dream business that you want to create or get? No, your dream job, not her dream job.
I can't hear you.
Oh, you have the same dream job?
I can't hear you.
What is it? FBI? My sister's in the FBI. Yeah, Katie, are you there? Oh, sorry. Katie, are you there? She's in the FBI. She does counterterrorism actually.
Can you hook me up with an internship?
She's listening to you right now, so ask her. Katie, you okay if they have an internship? Cool. You also want to be in the FBI? What's your name?
The name is Rawan, and I'm from Yemen.
Cool. All right. Awesome. Welcome. Thank you for coming. All right. So I think, is that everybody? Do you want to share? Good. Oh, me. My name is Brian. I'm from Illinois. So a bit about me is that first of all, I'm really, really happy to be here with you guys. I love, like Jason said, I speak literally, I'm traveling 6 months a year giving talks around the world. And I think that my favorite group to talk to is always this school and this leadership program because it's always like this. Everyone's from all over the world, everyone's ambitious, everyone wants to do amazing things. You guys have great energy. Like literally, I've never had a bad experience here. And I've done this it's probably like Jason was saying, like my 12th time here. So I'm really excited to be here. I want this to be fun. I want it to be interactive. I want you guys to walk out of here in a couple of hours feeling like you've learned a lot, but more importantly, feeling like you can go ahead and ask me any questions that you have, anything you want to know about branding, anything you want to know about networking, getting a job, building a business, traveling abroad, anything, I'm here. So it's not going to be me talking for 2 hours. It's going to be very interactive, right? From the middle of America, from Illinois, my father's Lebanese, my mother's Irish, so kind of an interesting combination, half Arab, half Irish. But I have this deep love for Latin America. So I learned Spanish, like I said, in the Dominican Republic. I lived in an orphanage. So let me back up. When I was in college, I was a football player. I played football, and for me, my whole existence was football. My whole life was football. If you're from the Midwest, I don't know if anyone's been to the Midwest. I played quarterback. So in the Midwest, football is everything. It's like religion, If you didn't, in Texas too, Texas is even worse. Texas is like, if you don't play football, you're basically dead. You know?
Dallas, Texas, over there.
What's that?
Dallas, Texas.
Yeah. So I played football, and I got a scholarship to play Division I football, and it was a dream of mine. And then when I was at college, I suffered a couple of really bad concussions. And like, I was in a bad place. Like everything, you see that green paper that you're eating out of? Everything that I saw was that color of green. Like my brain was messed up. I was going to the wrong classes on the wrong days. I was showing up for marketing on Tuesday morning at 11, but the class was Wednesday at 3 p.m. I was getting bad grades. I was out of it. But I was lying there and wrote about how I felt. I kept telling them, no, I'm good. I feel fine. I'm fine. Because I didn't want to lose my spot. I didn't want to lose the money. I worked so hard, and it was my entire existence, right? Which is why I hear your story, and I'm just like blown away at like the reinvention that you're going through right now, because that's a hard thing for people, right? But I ended up quitting. My dad said to me, like, you're done. I don't know what the hell is going on with you, but like, you're done. And then I told him everything. And I said, what's going on with me is I have brain trauma. I can't, like, I would want to say, hello, how are you? So that's what I want to say, hello, how are you? And it would be like a 3-second delay before it would actually come out. Hello, how are you? Do you know what I mean? So it was really scary. And at the time, it was the worst thing that ever happened to me. I thought my life was over. But in retrospect, it was the best thing that ever happened. Because then I get to start traveling. I spent some time out of the country in Europe. I spent some time connecting with professors that were older than me, that thought differently than me, that showed me a new worldview. And so then I went to San Francisco when I graduated from college. I did a year for teaching for AmeriCorps, which is like the Peace Corps in the United States, in San Francisco, where I started to learn very basic amounts of Spanish, right? And then I went to law school in New York. I went to CUNY actually. So we're all CUNY family here. I went to CUNY Queens College, and during law school, I said, I want to learn Spanish. I was really passionate about the Latino community, so my friend and I created a human rights project in La Romana in an orphanage in the Dominican Republic. And I lived with 125 kids. And these kids were between 6 months old and 22 years old. And if you ever want to learn a language, go live with 125 kids. Because they never stop talking. 5 o'clock in the morning, they knock on the door. Rajan! They call me Rajan, I don't know why. Do you want to play? Get your back? And I'm like, no, what time is it? They're like, it's not 6 o'clock. It's like 5 in the morning. And I'm like, no, come back at 9. Come back at 9 and we'll play. 5 minutes later, they're knocking on the door. You want to play? I'm like, is it 9 yet? No, it's 5:05. We want to play. And I'm like, okay. Had an amazing experience, and then on my last night in the orphanage with 125 kids, 125 kids where I lived for about 3.5 months, every single one of those kids, who had the worst stories you could ever imagine, all gave me a present. A bracelet, a love letter, a notebook, a hug, something. And that night, I remember, I was 23 years old, so that was about 14 years ago. And I said, I will dedicate my entire life to serving the Latino community in any way that I can. And so then I went and worked for Bloomberg when I graduated from law school, because I thought maybe I wanted to be the mayor of New York City. That was kind of a thing that I had in my mind. I wanted to be the mayor of New York City. I could see a lot of power in like the political structure. I thought that things were kind of messed up. I thought that people didn't really have access to the things they deserve. So I went to work for Bloomberg. I worked for Bloomberg for 3 years. I was a speechwriter for his administration when he was mayor of New York City. Quickly realized I did not want to become the mayor of New York City, but I had power and I had the ability to create messages and to create stories and to use the human experience to tell stories. So I moved to San Francisco 8 years ago, started my own business called Rashid Global, and we work with brands of all sizes. Big brands like Intel, LinkedIn, even does some of Facebook, all the way down to like small businesses, dental practices in Jackson Heights, Queens, entrepreneurs here in New York City, all over the world, and we help them tell stories. They hire me to basically come in and think outside of the box and help them tell stories. 2 years ago, I started an entrepreneurship competition called Uniting the Americas, where I bring entrepreneurs from Latin America to the U.S. I invest money in their businesses, and then I introduce them to other venture capitalists. We do tours of big companies, Facebook, Google, Airbnb, Uber, Apple. I get to meet with different executives there. And it's, all of my work. I've given a couple of TEDx talks, I've written for Entrepreneur, I've written for Forbes, I speak all over the world. And the reason I tell you guys all that is because all of my work is around, I believe one thing more than anything else. I believe that every single one of us has something special inside, has a story, has a skill, has a thing that we want to share. And all of my work is around helping you figure out how you can share it in the best possible way to make sure that you get that dream job or you create that dream business that you really want to do. So today, I think that since we have a really cool, dynamic group, and since I have you again next week, I want to really, how many people, just be honest with me, how many people think they can come again next Friday? Just so I can get a sense of how to, all of you, pretty much. Okay, perfect. So let's do this. I really want to take, I never get 2 weeks in a row with you guys, so I have to kind of rush everything in one 2-hour thing. I really want to take advantage of the fact that we have 4 hours instead of 2, and I want to help you guys actually build a roadmap and content. Like, this is exactly what I do with Big Plans, to figure out how you can all get what you said you wanted to do. Does that sound cool? So, does everyone have something to write with? Maybe something to write with. Or it could be a phone too, or it could be, whatever you want.
I'll be the president of this school in like 20 years.
Well, the president's retired.
Yeah, that sucks.
He is?
Yeah.
When?
This year.
This year.
It's my favorite. Oh, yeah, I'm leaving.
I don't
It's
need it.
fine.
I don't need it.
In June?
Yeah.
I think,
No pen, please.
I think Jones having his last week.
It's okay. I'm leaving that time, so.
Yo, President Levino. Sir, future President Hostos. Should have said that your dream job should be President Hostos. Stefan is into this school. President Levino. What?
All right, so everybody has something to write with, whether it be a phone or a piece of paper or something. Cool. Awesome. Oh, where's your paper?
No, it's
The first thing I want us to do, right, is I want you to, across the top of that sheet of paper, I want you to literally just write out my dream job, or my dream project, or my dream business is, and then fill it out. Basically what you already shared with me, let's just write it down. So be the president, be a mortician, be the FBI. Whatever, right? That's my dream job. Now, how many of you guys have sort of a lot of different interests and you're trying to figure out how to combine them? Cool. Okay, how many people here have like more than one interest? All right, a lot. So let's spend some time here. So, just go, and also, real quick, if at any point during this presentation, at any point you have questions, if something I said doesn't make sense, if I'm going too fast, if you want to clarify, if you want to say like, hey, how would I do this? What's my example? Like, let's use my example. That, guys, is the most valuable thing you can do. Ask questions. Please don't be shy. Please, 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 please. Okay? All right. We got our dream job. We got our dream business, right? We got our dream thing that we want. Now, maybe you maybe you have more than one interest, or maybe you know your dream job, but you don't really know how you're going to get there. right? So, a couple things that I want you to think about. Let's do it. Let's start here actually. Previous / current experience. So what I want you to do actually, before we even do that, we'll just switch the order here because I think it'll be more helpful. All right. Today, I want to get us all to start thinking a little bit outside of the box. I want you to put on a hat of like, today I get to be crazy. Today I get to think about things that I've never thought about before. Today I know that I'm going to actually create something that is very unique, right? Now, this is going to be useful for the people that have more than one interest. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to literally write down all of your interests. Write as many as you can, right? If you get 5 written down, that's great. If you get 10 written down, that's great. But what are you interested in?